For you? For her? Tenure?
Experience.
So my son has his first
5 years.
Instead of my
So
five?
I found out, and as soon as I found out, I put, you know, and
2 years.
because I cannot leave it. So I'm gonna share it.
That's a little extension on
See
that.
this video. And again, we don't have the delegation, I haven't had any interviews either, so I was excited to represent it. We had that, you know, and they decided,
Is that a 10-year?
Huh?
Is that a 10-year? ¿Se le nota?
Cuando we met the new person, she was like, and we said that wanted to fix it. Y me dijo, "Lo de tenure, aquí, para allá."
Yo no tengo 1 year.
No, I'd say, you know, the way we always took care of it, you know, last one in. Last one in. So. Sit up there in the front row. That's in New York.
Okay, so that went into the district or to the area?
I don't know if it's gonna be whoever else comes in after him.
That person is the last one.
but I mean,
We're so bad, so bad.
I forgot to email you about the award. You were supposed to email me about
The capital project?
the amount.
We haven't, I have to bring it. So, I see. So it's due tomorrow. Forgot. Mommy, now. So weird. I didn't forget. It's not on purpose.
So Mr. Simmons, what does it mean?
¿Los has visto?
I talked to her about it. She didn't mention that, but since September 11th, 97. Crazy. I can't remember. One of these days I'm gonna make one of those episodes too, so you need that. Me and Rosie are gonna hit it big. Gonna be famous. Have you ever seen that show? My cat. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be featured.
Well, the guy that can't whisper. He's something else. Podcast was terrible.
I have one. So my headboard is padded. I'm not sure what they want me to hang it from.
I have 2 fans.
No, sí, de papas.
Se llama la deja. Allí we're just in the restaurant. Yeah, porque si no me va a pegar las cosas.
I know, it's gonna seem like it's gonna be a
Is that your page? Did your fight get delayed? No.
It's good right now. It's gonna start tonight.
Time is 6:07. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's regular board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like for us to have, join us in the pledge. Moment of silence, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing.
Yeah, I would like for us to stand up for a moment of silence to remember and honor those who we lost on September 11, 2001. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, are there any changes to the agenda? No changes? All right, let's go on to superintendent's report.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Sinister, board members. Thank you, committee members. I don't know if you know, but we started a piloting program back in May with I guess an app or a program called MyHon, right? And we started back in May, and I want to share with you that from May to August, we have our students read about 29,000 books. 29,000 books in the summer, because usually students are not reading over the summer, right? They're watching TV, playing video games, hanging out, going to the island, but they were reading. So 29,000 books our students read over the summer, so that's a great thing to celebrate, and it's just the beginning. So we have with us here Mr. Trevino and also Ms. Garza, who will take us through this program and also what happened, what is this magic, right? Why we have so many students reading.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Azaiz, Cabinet, and community members. As Dr. Azaiz shared with you, this past summer, Donna ISD embarked on a 3-month summer reading pilot program with MyHon. And it is a web-based, personalized literacy platform where students have access to more than 6,000 books and more than 2,000 nonfiction articles. That can be read online, or they can also read it offline through an app, the MyHon app. In an effort to promote literacy and reduce the summer slide effect that Dr. Aziz mentioned, our district participated in the MyHon National Reading Contest titled Reading is a Blast, in an effort to motivate our students to read this summer. I'm proud to share with you Donna ISD's total reading statistics over this past summer, because they are extremely impressive. As he mentioned, a total of 29,880 books were read across 21 campuses this summer. 256,125 minutes were spent reading by our students this summer. And over 3,000 students read more than one book, and 1,525 of our students read more than 5 books. And they say that reading 5 books or more is the way to, really gain that extra year in reading as far as their reading levels, and to reduce that summer slide. I would like to introduce and recognize Mr. Isaac Trevino. He's our Renaissance account executive who will be recognizing the 3 winners of the summer reading contest and talk a little bit about their prize, which is
Yes, it is exciting. Thank you so much, members of the board, Dr. Aziz, Donna ISD. It is such a pleasure to work with this district. I know that the faculty and staff are just so amazing, but today we celebrate the students. We celebrate the hard work and the dedication over the summer. Like Dr. Aziz said, when you can be at the island, or maybe you read at the island, right? This is a con. So without further ado, we promised a Kindle Fire 7, right? Which is absolutely amazing. I'm so blessed to have provided these. But since my wife is in charge, she threw in a lot of other things. And not only are they Kindle Fires, but we have a blanket in there for you to cuddle up and read. We have a portable charger. We have some headsets. And you have a wife that really cared about you to make all of these. All right? So I'll pass that right over to you.
So I'll go ahead and introduce our winners and give you the statistics on how much the 3 winners actually read this summer, because it's just amazing. So our top reader in the district was Danielle Tarawinga. She is currently an 8th grade student at AP Solis Middle School. Danielle read a total of 36 books. Wow. And she spent, get this, 3,317 minutes reading this summer. So. So our second place winner, I don't think she was able to make it tonight, but her current principal, Mrs. Castillo, will be taking her basket and giving it to her, hopefully, even though it's a really awesome basket. So our second place winner was Wendy Solis Torres. She was formerly an 8th grade student at Todd Middle School, but she is now a freshman at Donna High School. Wendy read a total of 64 books and spent 2,004 minutes reading this summer. So it's really And our third place winner, it's just so special. It just makes me want to cry just talking about it. She was a pre-K student at Munoz Elementary. Her name is Yarali Tamez, and she's here with us tonight. She completed a total of 85 books as a pre-K student. She's in kinder now, and she spent 893 minutes reading this summer. Yarali Tamez. I think we can all agree how amazing these students are, and these accomplishments would not be possible without the support of the parents, because again, just reading took place during the summer. And so even though we gave them the tools, it was really the parents that needed to motivate them. So if the parents of these students are in the audience, which I know some of them are, we'd like you to stand and please be recognized. Once again, congratulations, students, on this achievement. We expect great things from you based on what you've accomplished just in the summer.
I just want to add, I want to first of all congratulate our students and our parents, but don't forget about our teachers and our administrators, because they also work very hard to make sure that our kids have that love for reading. So it takes a village, it's a team effort. So I want to also acknowledge our principals are in the back, I think.
Yes,
and our teachers, if there are any teachers here, so thank you for everything you do.
We are the best.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. We appreciate everything you do for us. Congratulations to you. Outstanding. Okay, moving on to number 2.
Board President and board members, I know we actually selected a board delegate and also an alternate, I think, two board
Yes.
meetings ago.
So I'm bringing this back to you all because my son is having his first communion that same weekend. So I thought I was gonna be able to go and excited to be your delegate, but that's not gonna happen. We got first communion happening that weekend. So the question is, for those of you that are attending, is there somebody that would like to be the delegate? It's on that Saturday during the day. I know not everybody's going. No? No.
What does that involve?
So here in your board packet behind, I think it was 2. It gives kind of a description on this 6 reasons to attend delegate assembly. What they're going to do there is essentially TASB, you'll be a part of naming what their advocacy agenda is. So that's a big chunk of it. And in addition to like electing the TASB leadership team for 2018, 2019, those types of things. And I want to say there's a morning and an afternoon block on that Saturday.
You think Eloy, he was the alternate before?
I was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was, just want to go on record, that I was the alternate to attend this, but due to health reasons, I'm not be able to attend.
So we haven't had a delegate before you all, so it's not a requirement. It was just putting this in front of the board if there was somebody that wanted to do that. And if not, that's okay, we'll do it next year.
Is there anybody that wants to volunteer?
Yeah, not everybody's going.
So 0.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 3.
All right, so we're coming back to, as you all know, our work as under the Lone Star governance framework. So what this item is essentially to move us forward in setting our student outcome goals. So think back to the Lone Star governance framework. There are specific sections around vision setting, and within those vision setting sections is the goal setting part. And remember back to our workshop that we had where we started to define these student outcome goals. So that is what you see here in your packet, is where we currently are. So we're gonna give you also a couple of updates here, first of all. One is that as far as the process for this, we're getting input. Dr. Aziz has made a Google survey that went out on Friday. It is also available on the website. And you said you're gonna post it on Facebook too?
Yes, thank you. So the Google, we received so far 283 responses. And what Google will allow us to do is do an analysis and see where we stand as far as the question that were posed, I guess, to our teachers, our staff, our community members. So the responses, we got a big response already from our teachers and staff. What we need more is from our students and as well as our community. So we posted that survey, the link on our website, and also we're gonna add it to Facebook. But also we're thinking maybe to maybe go to our meetings and bring some students, representative, so they can give us their input as well.
Mm-hmm. So what we're asking you all to do is to encourage the folks that you know, particularly parents, and community members that don't work for the school district necessarily, to go online, take that survey, give us their thoughts, ideas. And again, folks are going to be responding to our initial draft for student outcome goals, okay? And so you'll be able to see that it's live now. And then for those of you in the audience, like go online, take that. We would love for you to get your thoughts in that. And you're gonna be able to see a first draft of what we are considering for student outcome goals.
I just want to add, Ms. Reyna, also there's a comment section in there, so if you proposing or you want us to consider, or want our board to consider something different, you're more than welcome also to add any comments in there as we work into finalizing everything. Our plan is to finalize everything and hopefully bring it to a vote now during our next board meeting.
Which is at the end of September, September 25th.
Correct.
That's kind of like the goal we're trying to get to, is a final approval of the student outcome goals, the goal progress measures at the end of September, so we can really start the year out with those. The survey's gonna stay open till Monday, so it gives us some time, and you all as board members, to support people, encourage them to go, provide their thoughts in there, and then you all out there, you have over the weekend if you need to. So that's the timing. It's also gonna be brought to the DLPAC this week on Thursday. And then what we're gonna do from there is synthesize that data. We can share that data and you all can see the percentage of people who took it that were students, teachers, you know, all our different stakeholders. And then we'll use that to revise the goals.
Right.
And then bring it to the September 25th board meeting.
And what I can also do is make sure that we bring that data during our next board meeting before we take a vote, so we can share with everybody, so we can bring those results and share it with everybody.
Yep.
One of the issues that I would like to have the audience be aware of, that this board is being, trying to be very transparent, and by adopting these Lone Star governance policies, you know, we're trying to shift from being a board that is looking at, like Ms. I think Ms. Dana made it one time, that we spent how many minutes on toilet paper?
I don't know.
And we wanted to shift this over to the issue where we're concentrating and focusing in on student success.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, you know, maybe, we do lose track of what we've been elected to do. And we're here to make sure that our students are successful and are being prepared for their next chapter in their lives, you know, because there's life after Donna High School or Donna North. You know, they gotta be ready for the workplace. They gotta be ready to move on to higher education. You know, we want to prepare them to be our next doctors and lawyers. So just with that said, you know, I just want you guys to look at this. It's real important. This is the new shift in the board direction, and this is what we're trying to achieve. And this is a 5-year plan.
For those of you that are interested and want to know more, if you go to the Texas Education Agency website or even like Google Lone Star Governance Framework, the full entire framework that we are using as a board, it is totally available online on the TA website. You can see the vision sections that we're talking about. You can see the guidance around the goal setting. And that framework, the Lone Star Governance, really comes from the study and the research about what do the most effective boards do? How do they spend their time? And 2 of those 3 things is 1, set student outcome goals and monitor progress to those goals. And so that's where we are, we're in the process of that.
And I just want to add, like, from my conversation with the TEA Deputy Commissioner, you know, Donna, and I want to thank our board, because really they're the ones who taking the lead in this work, really are leading the way in the Valley. Like, there are no other board members are engaged at this level, I guess, with the Lone Star Governance. So I want to thank our board members, but I encourage you to study and learn about it, because that's the way to go. This is what TEA is promoting and asking boards to be following. So as our board members here are taking a big lead and showing the way to the rest of the boards here in the Valley. So I want to thank them for that.
One other thing, you all, I want to draw your attention to a revision that we talked about making because of the reporting is changing from TEA. So if you go to the page that says AE Local, that first page, you see our mission, our vision, board's role, and the superintendent's role. Turn one more page and you're gonna see the board student outcome goals for the superintendent. Is everybody there? Yes. Okay, so goal one's still looking good, focus on early childhood literacy, K-2. The second goal, we had it as the percentage of students who meet or masters grade level on 2 or more measures of the STAR exam will increase from X% to X% by 2023. We are considering revisions to that because that data in that way will no longer be reported. So what we're doing is we are still going to be focused on the STAR exam for that second student outcome goal, but it's going to be focused in on the student achievement component, which is essentially the percentage of students in the district that meet grade level on all subjects. Did you all follow me on that one?
Not to all.
Yeah, so currently right now, from our most recent, from this last year, we currently have 37% of students in all the district, again, this is for STAR, that met grade level for all subjects. Okay, so that would be our starting point. To give you a comparison, PSJA, our neighbors, they're at 43%. And then McAllen, who as a district was got a letter grade of an A this last year, they're at 51%. Just to give you some comparisons. Again, all this data is available through the TA website, that's how we pulled it. But that second student outcome goal is gonna be the one that's gonna have revisions between now and the September 25th. Okay, and then the third one still is pretty right on, demonstrating college and career military readiness. That one is pretty consistent from when we had our workshop. So questions, thoughts about any of this that we should be taking into consideration as we move forward?
If you look at goal number 2, the starting point is 37. And our target, did we decide on a target that we want to reach?
I'm sorry, say the question again. I thought it was a statement.
No, I'm asking you, we have a goal number 2, and it says
Yeah.
37% was the starting point, and we want to get to, did we decide on 75 or?
Well,
80 or
what we're gonna be proposing is 75%, which is a double over the course of the 5 years by 2023, which is both very ambitious, because that would surpass, of course, where folks are now, but it's also 5 years out from now. So who knows where these other comparison districts, let's say, will be 5 years out from now. So we think that's a good intersection of feasible and ambitious. Yes, Mr.
And
Van.
it's a 90, 60, 30. If we get the 60% of our students at MITS level, 90% approaches, and 30% master, we will be A district. So that's our goal, is be the A district. So if we wanna set the 75, yeah, we are going above and beyond. But 90, 60, 30 can give us the A district. The other thing, this was a taper report we were using. The taper report no longer is the taper report because we have a new accountability system where we are A through F rating. So in order to comply with the new accountability system, so we are going the MEETS, which was this year. We have 37%, we got district-wide 2018, 37% meets. So we wanna go, in near future, our goal is ambitious goal, we wanna go 60, 37, 60, and 90, 37, 90, 60, and 30. So because taper report is no longer is in place, so therefore we are using the A through F rating. That's why we are revising the goals.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell.
What do you think would be a attainable goal of an increase for a year? Would it be 5%? to go up 5% every year for the next 5
The
years?
significant gain is 5%. When you gain 5% to 10%, 5 to 7%, it's called significant gain.
Right.
So then we can break it down to add the next 5 years, 5 times 6, we add each year, and then we will see probably we are surpassing the 60%. Significant gain is always from 5 to 7%.
Yeah, so with 25% over the next 5 years, we'd be around 60-something% there.
Which will be rate as the A district,
Yeah.
90, 60, and 30.
And do you feel that that's attainable?
Yes, it is attainable. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what other questions, comments? That's it, this is just a kind of like update report discussion. We're not finalizing, deciding, approving anything right now.
Okay, moving on to number 4.
All right, let me get us started off here. So, in alignment with the process of determining student outcome goals and goal progress measures, we then look at where do we need to be spending our time as a board over the course of the year. So the end goal here, the vision, is that as a board, we would know exactly, and at any point in time, someone could ask us, where are we in relationship to our student outcome goals? And any board member should be able to explain and know clearly where we are against our goals in the five-year and then in the short term. So in order to do that, setting up a calendar, which is what you all see in your board packets, the calendar Mr. Grana and Dr. Aziz are taking a lead on in saying what goal are we focusing on, reviewing data for which month during which board meeting. So what you all have right now is in progress. So right now you only see goal 1 on there. Goal 2 and goal 3 have to be added. So you're gonna see something in every single month. So your rule of thumb is each goal will be monitored, discussed 4 times a year, times 3 goals, that's 12 times, 12 regular board meetings. So what you see the calendar is like in progress. What else would you add?
I just want to add is so we'll be discussing at least one goal every time we meet, and the goal is to spend about 50% or more of our board meeting, discussing student outcome, discussing how we do and as far as like reaching our goals, progress monitoring our students academically, right? And so that's really ultimately what we want to get to as far as our board meetings.
Are we gonna be having a report from the individual departments, like from Mr. Lana?
So different departments might have to pull different data because the data is always gonna be aligned towards the goals.
Correct.
Yeah. So different departments will have to work together in different ways, but
Are we
yeah.
still going to, Mr. Lana, are we still gonna be doing, maintaining that bundle test that we do?
Yeah, we do.
I know that one of the things that we were wanting, and I don't know, this was just a goal when we came in was, to minimize the amount of actual testing, and maybe, by minimizing the timely events of those bundle tests, maybe spread them out a little bit longer, but make them a little bit more in-depth and where they're more adaptive to
Yes, sir.
analysis,
We-
true analysis.
Yes, sir. We have reduced, we have a first 6 week and we are just assessing the first 6 week test, which is a bundle 1. And the second 6 week, which is a 25 days long, second 6 week test.
Right.
And then we have a third 6 week, which is the, up to the winter break. We are assessing, it's called comprehensive test. So the first semester, we are testing only 3 tests. And then the second semester, we will have a benchmark, and that's about it. So for all the stars. So we reduce the number of tests we test our students, only 4 tests. The 3 tests in the first 6 weeks, the first semester, and then the benchmark, and after that, we analyze the benchmark, we segregate the data, we target the special population, and then we tier our population, tier our students, And then that's where we start our academy to start helping our students. So only 4 assessments, first 6 weeks, second, third, and the benchmark. So we have reduced number of assessments.
Okay.
If you can, Mr. Brennan, maybe next board meeting, we can have a calendar of the testing, we can share with all board members, that'll be very helpful.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else on the report?
Nope, not for mine.
Okay, moving on to number 3, open forum. The open forum, we have Linda Estrada. The topic is vote education first.
Good evening, Dr. Z, Coach, members of the board, colleagues, members of the community. I'm just gonna be talking to you about the upcoming election that's coming up in November and why it's so critical that we get involved and choose wisely who we're going to elect into office. So the attacks on public education is real, and it is nationwide, with special interest groups wanting to dismantle and privatize it for their own gains. West Virginia started the revolution against those attacks when they launched a coordinated effort and walked out for better funding and won. When I say coordinated, it was an agreement between the districts and superintendents to allow the employees to walk out and force the legislators to fund the districts adequately. Soon after that, others followed. Oklahoma, Colorado, Kentucky, Arizona, all with favorable outcomes as well. The latest are Washington State and Los Angeles, who are not walking out but striking. So yes, the inadequate funding is a real problem across the nation. How are we doing in Texas? Well, because elections do have consequences, here are some of our consequences. We've got underfunded public schools. Texas spends $2,300 less per student per year than the national average. Underpaid teachers. Texas teachers are paid $7,300 less per year than the national average. Rising health care costs. Health insurance premiums keep eroding educator paychecks and pensions because the state refuses to pay a fair share of health care costs. Over-tested, over-stressed students. Educators and students waste valuable teaching and learning time on faulty exams. Privatization, out-of-state and unaccountable corporate charter chains are expanding while state leaders campaign to siphon education tax dollars for private school vouchers. So, unfortunately, Texas educators cannot walk out or strike without dire consequences. So what are we to do to get the attention of our governor, our lieutenant governor, senators, and state reps, and get them to fund public education properly? TSTA, along with other supporters like Texas for Public Education, are coordinating a statewide march to the polls and voting for education first. We have been talking and preaching to vote for candidates, Democrat or Republicans, who support education. We do have a list of all endorsed candidates that have been interviewed by our state PAC, which include our state leaders, teachers, educational support professionals, higher ed, and retired, who do the interviews and recommend who to support the interests of our students and employees. During the primaries, it was Mike Collier and Scott Midler. And so when they got interviewed, the only thing that set Mike Collier apart from Scott Midler was that in the questionnaire, they were both asked whether they would support due process for paraprofessionals. And Scott Midler said no. Mike Collier said yes. Because we're here all in it together, guys. So, at this time, Donna TSTA, NEA would like to ask you, Dr. Isaias, Coach, and the rest of the board, along with our colleagues and community, to pledge to vote education first. It's going to take all of us to get involved. We do have some pledge cards that y'all can fill out to let us know how you are willing to help. Our students and employees need your support. And I will leave you with this quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. So we do have some flyers who our endorsed candidates are. We have them up there. We do have some pledge cards if anybody's interested. It's just how would you like to volunteer. and also the list of our endorsed candidates. If anybody's interested, we left everything up front. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
All right, on number 4, consent agenda.
I only have one issue, or one question regarding the units that are being written off, abandoned, broken, what have you. I noticed that there's a lack of proper documentation, there's no serial numbers. And I know that that's an issue that we probably need to address, Dr. Cis. And I don't know, our fixed asset department needs to go around and do a little bit better job.
Yeah, so I don't know if you, I think, and I'm sorry if I didn't make you aware, but our fixed asset and our warehouse, we made some restructuring, that's what we ordered, if you will.
Okay.
And now it's under our finance department, with Ms. Cancino being the supervisor of that department. So she is working with the team to make some changes, good changes, and make sure that the proper documentation are being provided and completed. I don't know if you want to say anything, add anything else.
We'll make sure that everything that we dispose of, we'll follow up with tag numbers or serial numbers to write off our books. But yes, sir.
And are we also, I guess this is probably for Mr. Valdez over there. Any new equipment that's coming in, are we already making sure
Yes.
that
We are working on that, yes, sir.
Okay, good. Otherwise, I'd like to make a motion that we accept.
There's a motion to approve consent agenda by Mr. Guerrero, second by Ms. Watts. All in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Favor, motion carries. Okay, moving on to executive session. As authorized by Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, .072, .073, .074, .075, .076, .082, .083, and .084. Time is 6:44. Two, we're back in open session. Okay, discussion and possible action to approve the superintendent's recommendation of personnel.
I move.
Second.
It's a motion by Dr. Mary, second by Ms. Watts. All in favor?
Favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Favor. Approval of recommendation for professionals, paraprofessionals, and auxiliary personnel. That's the one we already did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so letter B, discussion of possible action to approve pending or contemplated litigation, settlement matters and or matters where the professional duty under state board requires private consultation with the school attorney. No action? Need a motion to adjourn?
I move so.
Motion by Ms. Watts,
Second.
second by Mr. Guerrero. All in favor?
In favor.
Favor, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Hello.